Alright guys, let's talk about them Florida Gators. Today we're just going to talk about a little bit of everything, just kind of random thoughts, so sorry if it's a little bit scatterbrained. I've been told people want to, hear more about other sports, not just the football aspect of it. I do casually follow some of the other sports at Florida. I'm a diehard like the rest of you, so I love it when we win at everything. I do believe Florida is the everything school, although we've fallen off on a few things here recently. But again, we're pretty awesome at every sport, which is fun when you're a Florida Gator fan. So, anyways, right off the rip, I've listened to some podcasts, listened to some other shows. So I just want to kind of get some thoughts out there on some of that stuff. I was listening to these guys talk today about recruiting. I do think, on the trajectory we're on, we're going to need some luck as far as getting to the title in year 3. But if we do get to a title, I do predict year 3 will be the year we are competing for an SEC title and a national title. I don't see it in year 1, especially with this transition class. We're going to need a top 5 class next year, 3 to 5 5-stars, top 5, top 1 or 2 in the SEC. But I do see Billy, if he does get the recruiting like we think for 23, which I believe he will, he is already in the running for a bunch of 5-stars, bunch of 4-star guys. Matter of fact, I think I've only seen one offer for a 3-star kid. We're in on it early. We've got a bunch of predictions and crystal balls on 247 for nothing but a bunch of 5-star and 4-star kids already early on. That's a good sign. He said we're going to lock down and focus on the state of Florida. Again, the circumstances are the only reason we didn't do that to start with, or wasn't the pickings were slim. So I think year 3 is our title year if we get there. I do believe in the 3-year test, like the Gator Nation podcast. If y'all haven't listened to those guys, go check it out. Those guys are awesome. They have a thing called the 3-year test, and it goes off of recruiting, coaching and all that. Is kind of a culmination of things. If a coach hasn't won a title by year 3, statistics usually say they do not and will not win a title. There's a few people outside of that.
Take the next left onto Hamilton
Jimbo
Bridge
won a
Road.
title in year 3 at Florida State, or before year 3. A couple of these other guys, Urban Meyer, Nick Saban, Malzahn, all these guys. So again, like I said, there's a couple examples out there of guys winning, outside of that, but I think it's literally only like one coach maybe in the last 10 to 15 years. They're pretty accurate with that analysis. I wrote down some notes here. The whole Hopper transfer, I think that was a family influence type thing. Again, I don't like the transfer thing. I think they're going to have to come up with some rules to regulate that a little better. I think they need to make it to where guys can't transfer in conference in the SEC and eliminate that. Again, that might hurt us a little bit, but I don't like seeing these guys go to our competition. And some of these kids are making some really poor decisions. You're leaving a premier university, leaving Florida for Missouri like that. That kid all he did was hurt his draft stock. He hurt his potential. He hurt his brand. I don't know why he did that. He was going to be the starter next year and be one of the star players on the field. You're going to get a lot more exposure, TV time, playing bigger games. So again, some of these kids are making some pretty poor choices. I don't know who's influencing them, but I can only think that it's close friends, family, people that have their own self-interest probably. You're going to leave the Sunshine State for 10 degrees. I don't know if anybody's military on here, but Fort Leonard Wood, they call it Fort Lost in the Woods. That place is freezing cold. I don't know who would want to go there. It's not a pretty state. I mean, there's some parts of it that are, but again, you're leaving Gainesville, Florida, for Missouri, which is, that's a no-brainer, Florida. Again, so that was weird. Gamble was a big loss. I talked about this already, but that's another head-scratcher. You leave Florida, a big school like that, to take a step down. I don't care what happened in the bowl game. That was not Florida. In the Gasparilla Bowl, he leaves us to go to UCF. I don't get it. If you had any aspirations for the NFL or NIL money, wouldn't you want to stay at Florida? You're not going to get that. They don't have the manpower, the boosters, the money. They don't have any of the resources that Florida does. So these kids are really just shooting themselves in the foot. But he was a proven starter. He was going to play next year, get first-team reps. That leaves us a little short-handed at linebacker. Actually, linebacker scares me. So we might have to hit the portal, possibly for a linebacker, a wide receiver. One of my guys on here that comments a lot, said there's a receiver at Auburn that we might look at. So that would be good if we could get him. I think it was Tavarius Robinson or something like that. I don't remember the name exactly, but I haven't really looked into him. But again, there's going to be some needs. We're going to have to trim some fat off the roster. Billy Napier talked about the spring portal period. They're going to have to cut about 6 guys, and actually more. 2 walk-ons have a scholarship, so that brings it down to 4. But they're going to have to trim some guys. They're going to need several guys to transfer out so we can upgrade the talent at some of these spots. D-line scares me. Receiver. Again, we talked about it, though. Linebacker, scary. Ventrell Miller's coming back, and scary as it sounds, we might need him. We're going to need him, absolutely. But I was never really impressed with him. That was one of those McElwain guys that was just average at best. He looked like one of the better players on the team at times because the talent's been lacking so bad. So again, the portal's going to be huge for us. So another thing, I want to move on a little bit, get out of football. Women's basketball, guys, we haven't been ranked since December of 2016. Women's basketball is ranked 19th in the country. That is huge. They fired Neubauer. The guy was a scumbag. The stuff that he did was terrible. Hopefully the guy gets his act together. I don't wish ill will on anybody. I'm a man of faith, so I hope that he gets himself right, and I hope those girls are okay and they get through the things that they went through. But again, I'd like to. They need to take the interim tag off this guy, hire the coach, and pay this man. 19th in women's basketball. It makes it fun to watch again, or at least follow. I'm not going to watch women's basketball probably. I'm just not a big fan of it. It's too slow, too low scoring for me. But they beat number 25 A&M, number 23 Kentucky. They beat number 11 LSU, number 7 Tennessee, number 14 Georgia. 19th, that's disrespect right there. I'm sorry. These girls deserve to be ranked somewhere between 12th and 15th in my opinion. And in a couple more wins, they should be top 10, no problem. I think they're just trying to fill it out with the ranking thing, the media and stuff. I think they gave them 19th. It's a good little spot inside the top 20. I think another win or two, they're going to throw them way up there in the top 10 because there's just not a lot of competitive women's basketball. It's usually the same schools every year that go to the Final Four. Same girls teams win it every year. So, man, it's exciting for Florida to actually be in the talk. They're going to make the tournament, no doubt, at this point. That's awesome, but, can't say that for men's basketball. What a joke. Just still not a big fan of Mike White. The guy, I hate it for him. He's tried to make the changes. He hired some new coaches, tried to change up the offense. We don't pass the ball enough. If we can keep passing the ball or get to passing the ball more often, and get some movement. You got Castleton back. I love his effort. The talent's not bad. Again, he's not elite. But if he's healthy, that goes a long way for us. I love these guys' heart and passion. They play their hearts out. Again, we can't hit a three-pointer to save our life. I don't know why Mike White's letting us shoot the most threes in the country, and we're missing them more than anybody else in the country. He says the guys do it in practice. Look, these guys are all transfers. They were transfers for a reason. Transfers do not breed success. I'm sorry. Like I said before with football, you can hit on 1 or 2, maybe 3 at most. And now it's going to be a little different with the transfer portal. But you can't fill an entire roster on that. You've got to develop high school guys. Got to get the 5 stars. And Mike White's recruiting hasn't been the issue. We've seen guys like Andrew Nimbard leave and go and have success at Gonzaga. Kid was a stud there. And Trey Mann. Look what Trey Mann's doing for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He is tearing it up, lighting it up. Yeah, he was good at Florida. Didn't hardly get the playing time he should have got when he was a true freshman. So Mike White makes some very questionable decisions. Hey guys, sorry about that. Sorry about the GPS in the background. I'm sorry if y'all hear that. I'm just trying to work here, but I like to get these shows in during the day. I don't have my kids around. Don't have the wife around and all that, so I shut it off just so I can finish this show. Men's basketball 15-8 right now. We're barely beating the teams we're kind of equal to in talent that we should beat. 5-5, 500 in the SEC. Again, we're the first four out on everybody's projection. Joe Lenardi, all those guys. I think we got one analyst, saying we're 11 seed in the tournament. Personally, we won't make the tournament. If we do, we'll get bounced in the first round like we do every year. I think if we do make it again, 11, 12 seed, and that would be a complete shocker and surprise to me. The back part of our schedule is incredibly tough. Like I said, first four out, I don't see us making it. I think Mike White needs to be fired at the end of this season. I would let him finish in case he turns things around for some reason. But I say if he doesn't get us in the tournament or we're a 12 seed, he needs to be let go and replaced. Net ranking of our schedule is a 44 right now. Okay, but that Texas Southern loss to a 0-7 team at the time was terrible. That was a quadrant 4 loss, so that's killing us. We're 1-5 in quad 1 games, guys. That's not going to get us to the tournament. Like I said, we have the opportunity. We have the games that get us in at the end. But there's so many highly ranked teams. The SEC's loaded this year. I don't see us getting in. You've got Georgia Wednesday. Again, we should beat Georgia. That puts us 16-8, and I think that's where things are really going to spiral. We just don't have no offense right now. Defense is good. We defend at a high level. That's why these games are all super low-scoring games. Defense has never been a problem. We've always defended at a high level with Mike White. It's just the offense has never been able to get going. There's always been these weird, last-second shots that are just throwing the ball up. There's no play calling. I don't understand. The guy had success at Louisiana. I don't know why he can't get it done in Florida, but it's just not happening for him. Another thing here, random thought. Sorry, scatterbrain. The Gators got this new living quarter, the standard. That's a big thing for these recruits. The dorms were atrocious at Florida, so these guys have a brand new, nice place to live now. And I think that's going a long way in the future with these 23 guys. I think it helped close some of these guys in 22. The future's bright, guys. The football facility is supposed to be open this summer. It should be finished, so to be ready for these guys to utilize in the fall during the season. And that's going to be huge for all these summer visits and camps that we're having. Those 23 guys are going to see that. I think that's going to be enough to propel us to that top 5 class. I think facilities, people don't understand. Recruiters recruit. But facilities don't hurt, man. And I'm telling you, I really think facilities has really been bringing us down because, believe it or not, being the University of Florida and be as powerful as we are, our facilities have been very, very, very far behind. The IPF helped catch us up some, but everybody's got an IPF now. Heck, some of the small schools have an IPF. So what happened when Billy Napier got hired is he came in and he had his demands with Scott Strickland. And Scott Strickland made an ace hire because he's answering the call between the facility upgrades, the living standard he's got with these Bull Gators, making moves with the Gator Collective. These guys are throwing money at it now, and I'm telling you, it's going to pay off for us. So you guys just get ready for some big things. So basketball, back to that. Got 8 games left. 4 quadrant 1 games, 2 quadrant 2 games, 1 quad 3, and 1 quad 4. So like I said, I see maybe 2-3 wins at the most for the rest of the year. So that's going to knock us out of the tournament. I just don't see us making it. And if we do, round 1, we're out. All right, so back to football. I was listening to another show today talking about positions. I think corner is loaded with talent. I'm excited about corner. I think safety's a great position. Got some really good guys there. Collier is somebody to look out for at safety. I think he's going to be really good, highly rated guy. Probably should have got on the field last year and didn't. Corner with Marshall, I think we're set there. Offensive line, I think, is just going to be okay unless some of these guys can step up, like Osiris Torrance. I do think it's going to be upgraded from last year a little bit better, but I'm not going to, say leaps and bounds because most of the starters struggled. I do think Garage is our starting left tackle, and I do believe he will get drafted in the NFL, probably mid-round, somewhere in there. Again, there's some guys there. I think we'll be solid, but nothing great. I give that position a C+. Like I said, corner I do A+, safety I'll do A-, B+. Defensive line's a big question mark for me. Right now I'm going to go with a C. Linebacker, oh man, that one's brutal. We started from being probably a B+, group there to maybe a C minus. I'm not excited about linebacker at all. We got to figure some things out. There's a lot of young talent. Scooby Williams, Shamar James if he gets on campus. You got Black, DeJuan Black. I want to see that kid play this year. I think he gets at safety and balls out. He should have been on the field last year. Just too gifted not to play. That kid is a true Gator. I love the kid. Went through JUCO. Didn't qualify. Stayed committed to us all the way through the process. Got his grades up and got into Florida. So congrats to him. Wide receiver scares me. I'll give that a C. It's okay because the offense, Napier runs 2 wide receiver sets a lot. I think that's what's going to help us out and help us get away with that a little bit. We did get Douglas in the recruiting class, the wide receiver out of Texas. I like the kid. Again, I think that he'll help out some, but he probably won't see the field till next year. But at least he's another body. Running back, people are going to be surprised about this one probably right now, even though the talent's great. I think running back is probably a B+. Could be an A when the season starts, gets going. The talent's just too good there not to produce at a high level. I think they're going to be special. I think Bowman's going to be special. I can't wait to see that kid take a sweep or an end around. Man, he's going to be super good. Kicker's going to be good. Super excited about kicker. I think we're straight there with Smack, the kicker that we got. He's a highly rated kicker. I think special teams are going to have a lot more emphasis now. We're going to be much better and improved on special teams. Napier talked about it as much. Special teams coordinator is called the game changer. A little corny, but hey, whatever. I'm glad he's going to emphasize that because, man, it was severely lacking under Mullen. I want to see us block a kick, block a punt, something like that. Return some kicks for touchdowns. When's the last time we've seen that? Brandon James comes to mind. I would love to see some stuff like that. Freddie Swain was efficient, but he was just a guy that's going to catch the ball, get you 10 or 15 yards, and not drop it or fumble the ball. And I think that's why he was back there a few years ago. Again, linebacker, you got Derek Wingo, Scooby Williams. Miller's going to be huge now. A lot of tweeners, though, and I'm glad going forward we're going to be looking for some beefy, thicker linebackers, guys that are true linebackers that still have some speed but can thump. So we're going to be better hands there going forward in recruiting. So Napier runs an offense similar to Kyle Shanahan. A pretty exciting offense, very run heavy, not an air raid type of offense. I can't talk today. Nothing like Mullen's offense. Again, very focused on the running back. Gonna have 2 main guys. At Louisiana, all guys got over 100 carries, so it is distributed. But again, 2 main guys and then 1 guy to kind of give those guys a breather, change of pace back. Develops at a high level at running back at Louisiana, produced some really good guys there. So that's why I'm really excited about that running back room. Again, 23 is already off to a good start. I mentioned that one already earlier. One of my favorite coaching hires is Mike Peterson. I think that was a big hire. Bateman, similar to Dan Lanning, caused a lot of simulated pressures like Dan Lanning at Georgia, who is now at Oregon. Again, I do think that he was a good pickup too. A lot of people question that one. I actually think he was a good hire. I think he'll have some good input on the defense. Patrick Toney is our defensive coordinator. And then you got the co-defensive coordinator with Sean Spencer. I don't know how that's going to work out, guys. They could be butting heads on things. I'm not a big fan of the 2 defensive coordinator type stuff. You need to have kind of 1 guy calling the shots. If they gel and they work together, I think it's going to be great. It's 2 recruiters. Gives you 2 different opinions on things. But hopefully these guys gel and work together, because if they don't, it could be a catastrophe. There could be some friction there. So again, I'm not a big fan of that, but hopefully it pays off for us. Let's see, one more thing. Oh yeah, the media was out there. A lot of people are saying they graded this staff. You really can't grade a staff this early on, but a lot of people out there saying this staff was an A+ hire on the staff hire. So I think we did a good job there. That's kind of all I got for today, guys. Again, I just want to kind of get some random thoughts out there. If y'all would, please share, like, and subscribe to my videos. and I'll have some more content out soon. Thank